Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, another video, and yeah, we're talking about the PCC again. I don't always like to just bombard, a series of videos, so like the PCC for instance, one after another, because I think people get numb to it. I usually like to try and space them out, but I'm super excited about this thing, so we're on a roll, we're going to run with it. So I'd ordered some more, obviously this was all ordered from Asia, I had it from Airsoft Tiger. Took a bit of time to get here. The day that it turned up, the UK stockists had them in, so I've done what I said I would do and ordered the other model so we can compare the differences between the two, and I'll be sharing that with you today. But I've got the PCC, got a bunch of mags. I also bought a ton more magazines. I am heavily investing in the PCC platform, so I got a bunch more mags. I've got another 6. Now, these probably won't all stay with me, but because I'm sure Netsy's going to... Those of you that don't know Netsy, he does a lot of editing for me, and we've been building him some cool stuff. I'm going to be doing his DMR very, very soon. There's just a million and one things to do at the moment. So I picked up a bunch of mags just in case, because I know he's going to want one of these. So if we do build him one, I've got the mags ready, because these are going to go off the shelves so quick. And there's nothing worse than having like a gas blowback and not being able to get the mags for them, like the XM5. And like the VFC 70, AK-74, those have come back in stock over in Asia, so I'll have to put an order in for them so I can get some games. So I've got mags, and I've also picked up the other model, so it's the short model still. It doesn't make sense to have this and have that super long rail to me. It just looks... It would make a perfect CQB gun, less CQB, if that's a word. So the only difference with this one is it has a different stock system on the back, so we'll be having a look at that in just a moment. There's just a couple of things I wanted to show which I didn't show in the last video. So magazines, I've been gassing them up and using them, and to be honest, they've been working really good. The efficiency's not been bad on them at all. The only criticism I have of these magazines at the moment is as you are firing them from a warm magazine, they get cold very fast. Now, if you're just planning to do full auto all the time, you're probably going to run into some issues. If you use it like a normal GBB, you're not really going to have an issue at all. So first thing I want to show you is the magazines. So I've got some interesting tidbits to this, because I've already took this magazine apart, stripped it apart, wanted to have a look what was going on inside, and I'm going to show you what I found. So all we do, we take a 2mm Allen key and we remove that. And then we just push the base plate off. So the base plate is plastic. Then we've got some little Phillips screws. So we just spin these out. Now you could take the valve out as well, but it's not really relevant for what I want to show you. So we've got 4 little countersunk screws. Now make sure that we don't lose these, because I was interested on what was going on in the internal structure of the magazine. I was interested to see how they'd done it, whether they'd done it like other magazines that they've done previously, and most importantly, I had an inkling that they were going to have fitted one of those anti-siphon tubes in. So once we remove those screws, last time I did this it just came straight off, so bear with me. So we'll just rock this out here. Just rock it gently and it'll come loose. Now you need to be careful because we've got the spring there, of course, and look what we've got inside, boys and girls, much like the Marui MP7s. So this does come down quite a bit. So if we line this up with the bottom of the magazine, you can see this tube comes past halfway. So if you did want more gas in your magazines, you can get that, but with the magazines getting as cold as they do, I don't think they're going to be as efficient as like an MWS mag. So if you do trim it for a bit more gas, I think, to be honest with you, it does run out a little bit at the end of a magazine, but it's only just. So I would just be like taking off an inch and maybe just trimming it there just to get that extra bit of liquid in the magazines. The spring is a spring, and then this magazine is actually 2 parts. I'm not going to do it in this video, but because I want to get onto the new stuff, but this is a metal piece, 2 cast pieces, and they go together, which forms the BB tube. So, 40 round magazines, they do have a bit of a so you've got a notch on the follower which activates the bolt stop, So you've got that slides all the way down. Now it does sort of clip it off about here. So I am tempted to try and just slightly modify one, because I think maybe we can probably get about 45 rounds in there. So if you see anyone doing that, you heard it here first. So I think that's what I'm going to do, and have a play around. A lot of people don't like the Marui venting inlet valves, and I'm a massive fan of them. These are a different valve size to the Marui ones, so which I haven't shown yet, but like on the WellPro PP19, I was having a lot of inconsistent fills where sometimes you'd fill it up and it would take a good amount of gas, and the next time you fill it up, it's not taking any more gas, but you're only getting like half a mag out of it. So luckily on the WellPro PPK20s and the PP19s, they've got exactly the same threading as a Marui valve. So I took one out, I put a Marui valve in, and to be honest, that magazine, I've just been testing it against the others, and it makes the magazine so much more reliable. So I'll be getting to that eventually. Like I say, there's tons of videos to do, there's tons of work to do, you know, with the site and stuff. So I'm just picking my battles that I can get, you know, sort of rounded off. So we do pretty well on the Agri Precision website in terms of our dispatch time, and I think that's probably one of the things people have praised us on. So my most important jobs, you know, day to day, are making sure the orders go out as quick as possible. Just know that if you are ordering like a grenade or whatever, and you want laser etching, it just delays it a day or two, that's all, because it goes in a queue to be done. So that's the internal structure of the magazine. Everything's pretty much empty. You've just got that siphon tube which comes, or the anti-siphon tube. Basically it stops you putting too much liquid gas in the magazine. It comes down to about here. So I'm just going to trim them an inch back and see. I'm just going to try it on one and see how it gets on and compare it with the others. That's obviously going to take a bit of time. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of why we're actually doing this video in the first place. So we have another PCC. Woohoo! Like I say, I wasn't going to order the long one because I really didn't see the point. Now the short one with the PDW stock is the most expensive. So we can take, got a magazine with it, of course, we've got the replica, we've got the little QD point here which you put on the side. If you haven't seen the first video in this series, I suggest you go watch it. When I upload this, I'll put them all in a playlist so they're easy to find for you. So go through. The first video we looked at the PCC. The second video we looked at compatibility, which when I go to IWA in Germany, we're going to be talking to Double Eagle. Have a meet up with them and just talk shop basically. So here it is, another PCC. So for all intensive purposes, the differences between the three models is you've got a short model with a PDW stock, you've got a short model with an M4 stock tube, or just look at, you know, your average stock tube, and then you've got a long model with a stock tube. So all that's different is it has a much longer rail and much longer barrel. That's the only difference. So what we most importantly want to look at, because for the most part these are the same, is the buffer systems. So we'll take a look here. If we look at the PDW one, it's kind of a hybrid between, you know, a normal buffer and the ghetto blasters. But I am interested to see, because it does slightly look like there's little differences. Now these have the Daniel Defense parts on them, so you can really easily take this off. You've got a very generic looking, it looks almost pretty much like a standard Marui one there. So it should be around about the same length. But what's going on inside? Let's take a look. So I'm guessing it's like a normal M4 buffer, which it is. We have a normal spring. So we've got a normal longer spring, but this looks different to me. That looks much longer. So they might be using the extended plunger on the back of this buffer, because the rest of it looks the same. We'll pull the one out, the Mark 18, so we can show you. So this is a normal you know, M4 model, and this is the PCC. So you can see they're using the rear of the buffer to short stroke the action, and that just might be because the bolt is shorter, and if you didn't do that, the bolt potentially would be going further back into it. So the best thing I can recommend for you if you're picking up the sort of more conventional model like this is you could very easily fit a normal MWS buffer. What you'd want to do is space it out. So there's many companies out there that do a product or a part that does this. We have our own version of it, which is the pucks. So what you would do is you'd measure this out. There's probably like what, a 10-15 mil difference. Do I have a tape measure? I did have one here earlier. Let me grab the tape measure. So you've got about 14-15 mil. So like with the pucks, they come in a pack of 4. You can go anything from very, very short up to like 20. So I would just recommend that. If I'm going to be running this, that's what I will do. If I upgrade the buffer. Now, you don't have to upgrade the buffers. Many people use the standard buffers and they're absolutely fine. Just know that they are different, and the PDW stock is different and this one's different. So for the most part, the main body of it is the same. They've just changed the plunger on the back. So the more you know. There we go. I just wanted to get that out of the way and get it tested and see what's going on here. So very interesting. Let's pop that back in the Mark 18 so I don't lose it. So there you have it. Everything else is going to be pretty much the same. So everything in the upper is going to be the same as what we've done in the second video where we tested compatibility. And we're just obviously different in the stock tube down there. So normal size stock tube, elongated buffer to slightly short stroke it. There we go. So I know a lot of you are asking. So I've gone and spent another good chunk of my hard-earned money to pick up another model that I didn't necessarily need to answer your questions. So I hope you lot appreciate it. So we're going to test the function now, because surely if these buffer parts are different and the stroke is different, then is it going to shoot differently? So do we have gas in this mag? Now that one's empty. So I do have a couple of gas mags up here. So we'll leave that one with a rifle. That was that rifle. Here's some gassed mags. PDW. Now these mags are a little bit chilly. They're not too cold. PDW we've already looked at. Punchy. High cyclic rate. And it smells like cabbage. And then we've got the normal model. I imagine this to run a little bit slower, but we'll see. Very punchy. Just switch the mags out there. Yeah, so it's sounds like it's got slightly higher cycle rate on it. Yeah, so they're going to perform pretty much the same, especially because we've got the same barrel length and stuff. But you are getting a slightly higher rate of fire on the model, which has the like a crane stock, whatever you want to call it, sliding stock. So the more conventional model is going to have a faster rate of fire. And we've got a much longer spring in there. It's going to provide more pressure in that spring, so it's longer. I think the other one's about 60%, 70% of what this one is. This is just like a normal length spring. And of course, with that spring, they're having to short stroke it, basically just to make sure the bolt doesn't go too far into the rear. And I could probably demonstrate this with you actually. So if we pull the upper and lower apart, I'm going to pull the bolt out. And I'm going to demonstrate this with you here. So if we take the PCC bolt and we actuate it into the stock, you can see there's where we hit fully extended. And then if we push that back, it goes all the way to there. So literally just before the screw is going to hit the stock tube. So if you look at that reference there, so this little notch on the bolt is almost, oh yeah, it's actually in line with the center of the pin. So if we pull this out, I'll get it stuck, and we take a conventional lower, so this will be the lower from my Mark 18, if we do the same with that now, because this is a shorter bolt, what is going to happen? So yeah, we're not bottoming out. So the reason that they've done that is to stop, because this can go further, and this probably would jam itself up and break the gun. So there you go. That's the reason why. And just be careful, obviously, when you're chopping and changing parts. So we can get this Mark 18 back together now, actually, because we've had our compatibility testing with that. And again, the whole reason for this, like I say, is because the bolts are different sizes. See, different lengths. The more you know. So I hope you appreciate that. Performance and power wise, I can quickly check the barrels that are in them, because sometimes the UK stock barrels are cut really short. So yeah, on this one, so the UK spec guns have a barrel, an inner barrel that comes to about here. So you're about 50-60% of the barrel length there. So this is an Asia purchase, and you can see the barrel comes to the end. That one doesn't, it's in there. So if you're buying them in the UK, it's going to have a shorter barrel, and they do that to get the power down. So hopefully I've cleared up your questions that you guys have been sending me. I know some of you are on the fence of which model to purchase, so just know that no matter which one you pick, there's going to be some caveats with both, just if you're upgrading them. Now, if you were leaving the buffers as they are, you're not going to have any issues just leaving them alone and just running the gun and having some fun. So most people, let's get these both in frame here, and such a mess at the moment. So most people will want to swap that barrel out anyway, get an impasse in there. I've already got a Jaeger impasse in this one. And yeah, there you go. The PCC from Double Eagle and Daniel Defense and EMG. Very, very cool guns indeed. I think we're going to do something special with this one. So I think we're going to do a colour change. Now, this one I'm going to kind of keep... I'm going to slap some accessories on this and run it as it is. I might put some hop-up upgrades in there and stuff down the line. This one I'm going to change a little bit. Now I'm going to leave the rail, but I am going to be pulling off, and I know it's sacrilege, some of you saying it to me already, I can hear you. I'm going to be pulling the grip off. I'm going to be pulling the stock off. I'm going to be putting like a small MOE SLK stock, maybe an MOE grip, I'm not too sure. I might just go with what I love, and many people say, like, stop putting, the Kung Fu grips from Die Free Co on there, but they're just my preferred grip, and I love it. And it doesn't fit every gun, but some of them, I think this would, be very nice with it having that. It's got a fairly straight grip angle anyway, and there's nothing wrong with these Daniel Defense grips. They're very, very comfy. I'm actually very surprised by them. But we'll turn this into something different, and we can have this as it came out the box. And then once we've put some bits on this, we might change the colour. Let me know down in the comments down below. If you interact with these videos, I'm calling you out right now, get down in the comments below what colour we should make this one. So thank you very much for tuning in as always. As well as this PCC turn up today, I've also had two of the newer Salvo Precision MCX models. So we've got the Hunter and we've got the RSAR, which is the produced signature assault rifle. So we'll be looking at them very soon. So thank you very much for tuning in as always. Link in the description for the Jaeger Precision Discord. Join the community, get involved. And from me and Bench, we'll be seeing you in the next one.